Well, good evening, everybody. We are back here at Gill Stadium for game number 2 of this two-game doubleheader. This one is between Manchester Memorial and the Pinkerton Astros. I'm Andrew Arndt from Manchester Public Television, and I am joined by my partner, Daryl Johnson. Daryl, welcome back to the broadcast booth. I know it's been quite a while since we've had you in here, but welcome back. We've missed you.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, Andrew. I love being a part of the sports program here at MCTV, and looking forward to watching this matchup tonight with Memorial and Pinkerton.
We were here, I believe, last week when Pinkerton came into Gill Stadium and just rolled right over the Trinity Pioneers. 11-0 was that final score, and this is a big game for Pinkerton. They are 7-3 and in 7th place out of the 22 teams, while Memorial really struggling here at 1-9 halfway through the season, and they are in 21st out of the 22 teams. They are trailing just Pinkerton. But Ryan Cunningham, who was the man behind the big win last year when Crusaders defeated the eventual state champion Astros, that's a night I'll never forget, probably the best game I've been a part of in my baseball career. He was the man behind all that. He had a great game, and he's looking to do the same tonight. And it's all going to start off with Jacob Albert, who is on fire as of right now.
Yeah, he's a table setter for this team, and you're right. Last year, that was a very exciting win for this Memorial program. I remember it very, very well, and I've talked to a few parents tonight that they're hoping some of that magic rekindles itself for this matchup.
Yeah, that was a great game. We were never counted out. We were put in a couple of tough positions. Ultimately, ended up winning 7-5. Literally remember it like it was yesterday. But Cunningham gets his sign from the starting catcher, Juan Pena, and we are ready to go from Gill Stadium. The first pitch from Cunningham is outside for ball 1. Now, Jacob Albert, when we were here last, hit an inside the park home run and a real one, no errors. And he scored on all 4 at-bats that he got in that game.
Yeah, like I said, he's really the engine that starts this whole thing up, and he gets on base, you're going to see him run.
Cunningham gets his first strike here as the count moves to 2-1. Now Albert's also a very fast guy, fouls that one just above us. You'll definitely see him use his speed at some point in this game, whether it's this at-bat or the next. He is the leadoff hitter, so you will definitely see him use his speed at some point tonight.
2-strike count here for Cunningham, see if he can finish it.
Also the starting center fielder, Albert, gave that one a ride. That's way over the head of Caden Berube, and there's his speed. Berube picks it up on the warning track and is going to toss it into Duclos. Albert gets the stop sign at third base, and look at that. First at-bat of the game, and Jacob Albert's on with a triple.
Took that high fastball inside and just deposited deep into right field. I mean, that went 320 feet, and Berube did a good job getting that ball back in because I thought, there was a good chance they were going to send him home.
Brendan Horn, the next batter, starting shortstop. He was also the number 1 hitter and starting shortstop on last year's state champion team. He is a tough out. He hardly strikes out. Sean Kuloff had his number last time he was here, but he hardly strikes out in big moments as he's able to put. They're going to call that a foul off of him. I can see him limping down there, taking a couple extra seconds to walk that off. So that will be strike 1, and the count will move to 1-1.
He is a great contact here. That's what you usually see with your 2 hitters anyway. You got no outs, guy on third, so you really need a pop up in the infield or a strikeout here to try to keep that run.
Usually the number 2 guy isn't the biggest power guy, but a guy who can come through in big situations like he just did with an RBI single the other way. Berube will pick it up and throw it in. Both hits to right field, and Pinkerton is already out to a big 1-0 lead.
Sure is. Berube busy over there in right field. The right-handed hitter a little late on that, but still nice clean line drive stroke to right field and brings a run in.
Here is one of the most talked about players in New Hampshire sports, not baseball in general, just New Hampshire sports. This is the big fella, Jackson Marshall.
Yeah, I can't make a mistake. You can't hang anything to him because that will end up right at the Beach Street School.
Yeah.
It'll be 3-0.
We should warn everybody standing in that parking lot now because he is not afraid to
Got the pop
unleash a huge swing, but Alexis Rivera is under that one for the first out. But that's not the last you'll see of Marshall tonight.
Yeah, you got to be careful with him. He's got that open stance, so if you throw him a meatball inside, he's gonna pull it. He's looking to pull the ball, so you got to try and stay away. And that time it looks like he just got under it a bit and flew out the center. So that's a big out right here for the Crusaders.
We are officially live on TV now, so welcome to all of you joining us. That one gets by Manny Castro for another base hit. We hardly had time to say who that was. That was the cleanup hitter, the second baseman, Lorenzo Corsetto. And now here comes the designated hitter, Matthew Barbuto.
Yeah, this Astros team looking to swing the bats. You can see so far, that one's just outside the reach of Castro. He was almost a nice play by the third baseman, but now we get first and second and the one out.
That is one thing that Pinkerton is not afraid to do, is get ahead early. They need those runs so that their starting pitcher, who is Jacob Ancient, will have an easier time pitching in this game because, Memorial, they're still in the hunt for this. I was talking to the manager, Matt D'Ambrosio, before the game. All it takes is 5 or 6 wins, and with 10 games left, they could get a playoff spot. No throw down to third, as that's a stolen base for Corsetto, and now another runner in scoring position here.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. They do have an opportunity still. They got to string some wins together and not beat themselves. Sometimes they will kind of string together some errors, and that hurts them and takes them out of the game. But
little blooper into center field, into no man's land. Rivera will pick it up and toss home. No cut. McNelly, the throw in time. The tag is there by Pena, and Corsetto is thrown out. So Brendan Horn able to score the run. Corsetto thrown out, but Pinkerton takes a 2-0 lead, but they're able to get the second out of the inning.
That's a big out right there. You go.
Great toss by Rivera.
Very, very nice play. Great relay. Juan in great position to make that tag. And so 2 outs, 2 runs. Not ideal, but 3 out. 3 runs and 1 out is
right.
That hurts.
Elijah Sharp, the left fielder, and the next batter for the Astros. He had a great game last time we were out, too. He had a triple, I remember, and definitely scored on that. Cunningham's curveball outside misses for ball 1.
Yeah, we have a great view up here behind the plate. You can really see the strike zone. So
you could really see that ball move, too. You could tell right when you released it that was a curveball. As Cunningham will pick off, that fooled me, but base umpire Adam Rosmick says no. The home plate umpire is Kevin Bolduck, who did the bases, for the last game. So he's here at Gill Stadium doing double duty tonight.
Yeah, long day. But yeah, it's no easy task behind the plate.
Right.
You get beat up back there, whether you're the catcher or the plate umpire.
It's a tough job too, with all the new frame jobs and stuff. It's not the easiest job in the world. The lights are starting to come on. As Cunningham gets his sign outside for ball 3. And Cunningham is starting to struggle here a little bit, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to stay away, which I think is a good idea, but he's not able to really kind of hit the black. He's more in the other batter's box, so he's going to try and figure out a way to come back in a little bit. There it is right there.
There's the strike right on the outside corner. Painted that one pretty well for strike 1.
Tough place to live, though, out there, and they'll eventually make an adjustment to that, so he's going to have to move it around, but that's a good start.
And that one will miss the outside corner for the first walk of the game, as that's Sharp that'll take the walk there. And the next batter for Pinkerton, third baseman Joshua Jones.
Yep, so this is interesting situation, first and second. That walk doesn't hurt too much. The base was open, 2 outs.
Cunningham tried the curveball there and missed a little bit high.
Nice little ground ball to get out of the inning here. That'd be nice to see.
All you need, play could be to any base but home here. And the Crusaders will definitely try to get the easiest out here as they're looking to hit. Cunningham gets strike 1. Now with this Memorial team, like as you said, they beat themselves a little more. They don't lack skill. Not at all. They don't lack baseball mind capability.
Ooh, they got him.
They got him. Picked off at first is Elijah Sharp. Great call by Juan Pena. Cunningham throws over to McNelly. And what a weird way to end the inning. I was not expecting that. but Pinkerton able to get 2 across the board with Memorial coming to bat when we come back from this short break. Back for the bottom of the first inning, Andrew Arndt and Daryl Johnston with you. Pinkerton was able to get 2 big runs to start this game off, but now Memorial is in good position to try to get a couple of more added on to tie the game. And Nick Duclos will be the first man to do that as he grounds that one to Horn, who will throw over to Marshall and get the out just barely.
Yeah, quick out there. So, I mean, nice to see if Duclos could get on, but now we're going to have to try to get this started with Maylou. They need base runners early here, though. They need to try and chip something in here.
Right, that's been their problem all game. You know, they get down, they don't get those base runners early, but then they challenge late, and it's just too late. And they're not able to get 8 runs at the end of the game. Now, Jacob Ancient out there looks like he's thrown pretty hard. From my angle, he looks like he's thrown quite hard. Definitely in the mid-80s.
Yeah, he's got a good fastball. I mean, I'd like to see if he's got any of the secondary pitches, how effective those are, because, I mean, some of these kids will be able to jump on that fastball.
Right.
There it is right there.
Maylou
puts it in play.
To third, the throw to Marshall is in time for the second out, and that was Joshua Jones that made that play.
So 2 quick ground outs, both pulled, so.
Yeah, they've got his number already, it seems, with the contact, not quite the putting the ball where they need to. But Caden Berube with 2 outs will try to start something. Low for ball 1. And Ancient already in this game got ahead of both guys. He got Duclos a ground out, quick swinging, and then Maylou took strike 1 and was able to ground out there. So he's really got these guys on a pretty short leash here.
Yeah, you want to see Berube take some pitches here, maybe try to work the count.
Never a first pitch swinger here, Berube. We've got a different lineup here.
Yeah, we do. Duclos.
Berube and Duclos haven't been near the top of the lineup as Berube swings and misses at that one. If we get to him, Alexis Rivera, who's been the leadoff guy all year, will be the cleanup hitter. So
interesting.
Real interesting move here, but definitely needed a change of some kind. Berube will ground that one to Jones. You guessed it, a third ground out to the shortstop, third base side of the infield. So the Crusaders go 1-2-3 and are unable to get a run on the board, but Pinkerton is definitely going to want to add to this 2-0 lead that they have here at the end of the first inning. We'll see if they can do that when we return from the short break. We are ready for the second inning here from historic Gill Stadium. Andrew Arndt and Daryl Johnston joining you for Manchester Public Television's live broadcast of high school baseball action. Joshua Jones was the on-deck batter last inning, made a couple of great plays this inning. Will lead it off this inning with a shot. Berube coming on, able to make the sliding catch, and that is a great play from Berube to retire Jones for out number 1.
Yeah, great job by Caden. Just jumped on that sliding catch. That's a huge way to start the inning. Gets Cunningham a little confidence, get a little rhythm going, get a quick out. I mean, we just saw that in the bottom of the first where, Crusaders had the same situation, first pitch swinging, ground out. And this time we get the fly ball to right.
Another one sent down the line, but that I definitely lost that. That was foul.
Yeah, it went into the bullpen over there, over the soccer net. So
Berube able to make that play is definitely a good thing because he tried to make a sliding play in center against Central, and it went off his glove, and it was really the things that started to get Central West's wheels moving. So it's good to see him make that play, but that was right off the hands of Kyle Archer. That one had to hurt.
Yeah, it's vibrating his hands right now. You know it is. 2-strike count here, though. Let's see if Cunningham can finish this off. This would be a huge, huge win for the Crusaders to get this batter.
Get these first 2 outs quick, get the bottom of the order out of the way. That one's just off the plate, says Kevin Bolduck for ball 2. Count will move to 2-2. Feel like Cunningham may go off speed here.
He does and gets it.
He does, and that one is in there for the backwards K. The Crusaders will throw it around the horn, and they've got 2 down with not an easy out in the catcher and the Merrimack baseball commit, Cole Yanako, coming to the plate.
Yeah, he froze him on the last batter there with that breaking ball, and huge, huge strikeout.
Yanako grounds that one to Melu, who will throw over to McNelly, right on target for the third out. So a rarity. You see Pinkerton go 1-2-3 and back-to-back quick innings. We'll see if Memorial can add something to the scoreboard here as they also went 1-2-3 that last inning when we return. More baseball action for you here from Gill Stadium as Memorial is really, they've got something going here in my opinion. They got that big 1-2-3 inning, the bottom of the Pinkerton lineup right out of the way, and now they've got three really good hitters in Alexis Rivera, Manny Castro, and Xander Rivera coming to the plate here. So this is the opportunity for the Crusaders to get at least one and maybe even 2 or 3 on the board here.
Yeah, no question. If Rivera can get on here, this is going to start something good for them, I think.
Rivera will take high and tight a little bit, but strike one, says Kevin Bolduc. Ancient ahead in the count once again. He's been doing a great job at that so far.
Interesting setup here from Yanako. I know you mentioned he's going to Merrimack. He gets that right leg way out there. Reminds me of, back in the 80s, Red Sox had, or the 90s, Red Sox had Tony Pena, and that's how he set up. So
right. Well, there's take strike two. That's a rarity to see Rivera take 2 pitches like that.
Yeah.
But, there's nobody on base. You don't need to be getting your legs worked for no reason, Believe his dad was drafted into the major leagues. That one is foul into the street.
I'm sure, too, Coach D'Ambrosio asked the kids, take a couple pitches here because we can't just be getting out of these innings with 4 or 5 pitches.
You got to work his count a little bit, Ancient deals to Rivera, grounds one right back to the pitcher. The throw over to Marshall, an easy out number 1 for Pinkerton. Manny Castro coming to the plate now, who he threw, in my opinion, a pretty good game against Central Friday night. 6 runs were on the board when he came out of the game, but I looked back at it. I think we give him 2 earned. There were quite a few errors that got guys on base and just tough situations. As Ancient is ahead in the count once again. I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot tonight.
He throws pitches for a strike. But Manny, going back to Manny for a second, he's got a good curveball, so he can keep people off balance. It's just he's got to get he's got the support behind him that makes a big difference.
I believe he got 7 or 8 strikeouts in the couple of innings that he was in there.
Yeah, he's a fastball curveball, and his curveball has got a great break on it. It's hard to pick it up.
He does have 1 home run on the year as well. That was at Salem High School, and that one is way outside and goes all the way back to the backstop for ball 2.
Yeah, I saw that home run at Salem. That was a nice poke.
Yeah, I unfortunately wasn't there. I did see a video of it, and it did look like a pretty well-hit ball. Those away stadiums are definitely a little different. Castro grounds that one down the line, but Adam Rosmick right there says foul ball.
Yeah, just foul. That was a nice piece of hitting there from Castro.
Yeah, a little on the inside. Probably got fooled a little bit there. Just smart move to foul. Yeah, to fight it off. Ancient gets his sign from his catcher, Yanako. Castro swings and misses. Pinkerton will throw it around the horn, and Ancient gets his first strikeout of the game for out number 2.
Yeah, big out right there, getting Manny Castro. That's if you're Pinkerton, you need to get him off the bases. And wasn't sure if he was going to throw him something in the dirt with a pitch to waste, but he came right at him and blew it by him.
5 straight outs here for Memorial, 4 of them being ground outs, and then that strikeout you just saw to Manny Castro. Xander Rivera digging in now. He's tonight playing a position that he's not all too familiar with. He's in left field.
Wow, yeah.
He's played shortstop, I know, second base, and first base sometimes, but he has not been in the outfield this year, and that was definitely an interesting move to see, but definitely a move that needed to be made out there. They've had a little bit of trouble in left field.
Yeah, and with Pena behind the plate, it allows you to take Ben Melu and move him to short, and Ben's a really good middle
quick
infielder.
Hands, quick hands, good arm.
Yep, so it's interesting seeing Xander out there. I've known Xander a long time. I've never seen him play left field. So
2-1 from Ancient. Off the corner, says Kevin Bolduc, and 3-1. Hitters count here for Rivera. I'd imagine that he's going to be swinging at anything close here.
Yeah, big fastball count here. If he jumps on this, base hit would be huge.
Definitely got to get something going. Ancient deals Rivera fouls it off. Marshall giving chase, but that is out of play into the street, and the count moves to 3-2. Full count.
Yeah, Xander just a tad late on that, but that was the pitch. That was the pitch. He knew it. He tried to jump on it, but just a touch late.
First full count we've had here in this game. The payoff pitch from Ancient is swung on and fouled off, so Ancient will do it again.
Xander fighting, hanging in there. I like this at bat.
Good at bat, running the pitch count up. All three at bats really ran the pitch count up pretty well.
Yeah, this is a much better inning for Memorial. They may get him work a little more, and hopefully you'll get a mistake pitch here somewhere, and you can jump on that.
Last thing was maybe 6 pitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this one is at least 12. Payoff pitch from Ancient.
Oof.
Breaking ball right off the hands of Rivera and over to Marshall. So I like to say that Memorial here has gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this is interesting. Coach D'Ambrosio is talking to Kevin Bolduc, and he is pulling the Pinkerton Astros back onto the field. So
it was a foul.
Excuse me, that was a foul, and we will.
Or did it hit him? They might have called it hit him.
Wait a minute. Xander Rivera is standing on first base talking to Coach Brendan Sullivan and Jackson Marshall over there. I'm not too sure what's going on here, Daryl. I
think they're going to say
not
it
sure.
hit him. Because Xander was protesting right away that it hit him. I thought maybe it fouled off his foot or something, but I don't know. It was a weird play because the ball went right back to the pitcher. So
I don't know what to score that here in my book, but either way, Memorial's got a runner on with Juan Pena coming to the plate. That's a weird situation, but strike one there to Pena. And now Pinkerton, I feel like Pinkerton's a little bit annoyed by that. They all came off the field into the dugout, and they had to come back on. They wanted to be out of that inning.
It'll be interesting to see if Rivera runs on Yanako, if they'll test him.
Pena down the line, but the wind did push that foul. This wind has been killer here today.
Yeah, very gusty down here. I mean, other parts of the city, it didn't seem so bad, but it come down here, and the wind is just flying through here at Gill Stadium.
It's definitely something here. We had it really bad in the first game to the point where we thought that fly balls would be just completely pushed back. There's the dribbler.
Ooh.
Horn makes the error, unable to get Pena at first, and now something's really brewing for the Crusaders with 2 down. Here comes the first baseman, Connor McNelly.
Big spot here for Connor. You got a go-ahead run. I mean, I'm not saying hit a home run, but a nice base hit here.
This could
maybe
be a
score that run.
Huge confidence booster for him, too.
Absolutely.
Hasn't gotten many at-bats this season. Predominantly a pitcher and fielder. Takes strike one towards the low part of the zone there. He's done a fine job pitching this year. Throws very hard. He's got that weird pitching motion. Comes all
deceptive.
the way back.
Yep.
But is able to get a lot of velocity with the long legs that he's got as well.
Yeah, great kid, too. I mean, he's
right.
Just a good person in general. And
yeah, all these guys, my former teammates, obviously wishing them the best down there. But we've moved on up here, and McNelly will get the 0-2 pitch from Ancient. Outside for ball 1.
Good discipline there from Connor. He held off on that. You get the 2 strikes on you. It's you're not getting a lot of bats. It's easy to go chase that. And
that's usually one that I'll get a lot of people on because it looks like it's coming right down the middle and then just tails right away at the last part. But Ancient is able to get the swing and the miss there from McNelly as he trots off the field. Pinkerton, despite the weird situation we had and the error on Brendan Horn, are able to keep Memorial off the board and are definitely looking to add more to this scoreboard. But we'll see if they can do that when we return. We're back for the top of the 3rd inning, and despite the weird situation we had last inning, Memorial is still off the board, and a great job by Pinkerton doing that. But with the top of the order up here, Pinkerton is definitely looking to add some more to this 2-0 lead we have here at Gill Stadium. Andrew Arndt and Daryl Johnston joining you for Manchester Public Television's coverage of this game. And Jacob Albert at the plate here, who really did damage last inning. I talked about his speed, and maybe 2 seconds after I said that, he used it.
Yep. Yeah. That you mentioned is inside the park home run, and almost on cue, he had the triple. So, and there's another one.
There's another one. That one is driven right at Caden Berube, and Albert is 2 for 2, and he is joining Brett Beddington as one of the hottest hitters here in New Hampshire Division I baseball.
Yeah, he's a hard out. He really good stroke, and he just hits the ball to right field with really ease, and the ball just jumps off his bat, and that speed now at first base is going to be a problem.
Now Brendan Horn, the next hitter here for Pinkerton, nearly had a costly error as Ryan Cunningham does pick-off move there to McNelly. He nearly had a costly error that got Juan Pena on first base, but Jacob Ancient was able to strike out Connor McNelly, so the error now means nothing, and Horn is definitely looking for some revenge here. Cunningham gets his sign inside for ball 1.
Yeah, with Albert's speed, they're going to have to really keep an eye on him. I'm interested to see how if Pena can make that throw to the right side of the bag and hopefully get the
pickoff from Cunningham is not in time to get Albert, and I don't think they're going to get Albert. He's quick.
Yeah.
It's definitely smart to keep him on his toes over there. Horn sends that one right at Castro. Castro, Duclos, not in time, and that is why that's a tough play. That one gets away from McNelly. Horn is at second, and that's a weird scoring thing. It's a fielder's choice for Castro, and then an error, E4 on Duclos is what we'll call that. Fielder's choice, E4, gets Horn to second, and 1 out with the big fella coming to the dish.
Yeah, probably should have just ate that one, but unfortunately. Now this is the kid that's trouble. Now we got the fly out with him last time, so hopefully they'll.
I mean, do you see how hard he swung that bat? I
Yeah.
mean, jeez, he was looking to send that one over JFK into Beach Street School, like you said, or even to the Citizens Bank sign over there on Elm Street.
He looks like a boy among men among
Castro
boys.
able to field that one, throws over to McNelly, and Marshall is retired for the second time as the Crusaders get the second out.
Cunningham
of the
having a
inning.
sneaky good outing here. I mean, it's the 2 runs early, which hurt, but I mean, since then he's really settled into a groove, and he's keeping this team off balance.
I mean, I'm looking at my score sheet here. Triple, single, fly out, single, single, and then the rest of that all outs except for Albert's single here at the top of the inning. Lorenzo Corsetto at the dish now 1 for 1 with a single, and that's going to add to it. Possibly. Oh,
good
Rivera. Wow. I mean, off the bat, that looked like it was going to be way over his head, but one of the fastest guys in the state right there, Alexis Rivera, able to use his legs and keep Pinkerton off the board for the second straight inning. And now Memorial is going to come to the bottom of the third inning, really looking to do some damage here, and we will see if they can do that when we return. Bottom of the third inning here from Gill Stadium, as Pinkerton was kept off the board last inning, but we will start things off with the starting pitcher, Ryan Cunningham. And as Darryl just mentioned last inning, he is having a sneaky good outing. He's gone 3 already and definitely has room for more.
Yep. Yeah, and hopefully he can get himself some help here,
Not with that pitch. That was a frozen rope right down the middle, but I mean, bat never left his shoulders, and already up 0-2 is Jacob Ankia. Outside, good waist pitch, try to get Cunningham fooled there, but he's not worried about that.
Yeah, Cunningham doesn't look like he wants to swing, so you can just come right at him and see if you can get him to ground out. They've got a lot of ground outs this game, so it wouldn't surprise me.
They have got a lot of ground outs. I believe they have 5. Ankia deals swing and a miss from Cunningham, strike 3.
Yeah, I got him on the changeup. It was a really smart pitch
It's his
right there.
3rd strikeout of the night, and we'll be back to the top of the lineup with Nick Duclos, who grounded out on 1 pitch his last time up.
Yeah, they came out that first inning, and it was, 4 or 5 pitches, and they were out of that inning. So they were trying to jump on him early, and then from then on, it seems like they're trying to work the count a little deeper, force the kid to work more.
Yeah, first half of the inning, first pitch swing. Again, Ankia able to make that play, and Duclos is retired for the second time on 2 pitches.
Yeah, Duclos had some quick at-bats here, 2 pitches, 2 ground outs, so he's going to try and make some noise. I would bet you anything he'll take the first pitch his next plate appearance.
I would think so. You wouldn't want to go out like you did in the first inning with 5 or 6 pitches and 3 ground outs. So, oh, wow. Maylou sends it to Horn, who fields that cleanly and chucks it over to Jackson Marshall. Another quick half the inning, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but looks like Pinkerton is out for some revenge here. and we will see what they can do when we return for the top of the fourth inning here from Gill Stadium on Manchester Public Television's live broadcast of high school baseball. Top of the fourth inning here from Gill Stadium, Andrew Arndt and Daryl Johnson joining you for more action here, as this is a really good game here.
Yeah, it's close. 2 runs that came. They scratched them out in the first inning, and since then, both teams playing good baseball. It's just it's a lot of pressure on Memorial when their top 2 hitters are getting out on essentially 2 pitches. So hopefully the rest of this lineup will start working some counts and getting some base runners. Right now, they just got to keep Pinkerton off the board here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, Pinkerton had that really big first inning, and then since then have gone 1-2-3, and then 1-2-3. So it's been a really tough go of things for Pinkerton. Ryan Cunningham starting to figure out Kevin Bulldug's zone, but Matthew Barbuto sends that right at Caden Berube for the first out.
Berube's been busy today. I think he's got 4 or 5 putouts already, and he's done a great job. And honestly, that first batter, he hit the triple over his head, and he got the ball in quick. He did a great job. So, hasn't shown up on the offensive side yet, but defensively, your outfield looks good today.
You got to wonder if that's maybe the wind pushing all the balls out to right field, because he has got a lot. He's got at least 4, maybe even 5 out there today.
Yeah. And it's, predominantly right-handed hitters, and they're going to right field. So
definitely not napping out there like a lot of people think right field is in baseball. It's often called the most boring position, but Caden Berube has been busy over there as Elijah Sharp takes ball 2.
Yeah, that flag's kind of blowing in a little bit to right field, so it might be just swirling a bit here. Ooh.
Up and in on Sharp, who just barely got out of the way. And he is nearly about to take his second walk.
Yeah, he's the one that got picked off too. So it'll be.
Yes, he is the one who got picked off there at the end of the first inning, as that one is outside, and Sharp will take his second walk of the game. Joshua Jones, next hitter here from Pinkerton, he flew out to start the second inning, but he made a couple of good plays over there at third when Memorial came up to bat for the bottom of the first inning. He's definitely looking to get something going here with 1 out. Cunningham deals right on the inside corner for strike 1.
Well, Sharp's not going to get picked off this time. He can't possibly allow this to happen again.
That is something that happens one time and one time only. Cunningham throws over again, but he was in there in plenty of time, and he's keeping close now. Yeah,
because when he got picked off, if you look at him right now, his right foot's just the edge of the cutout, where last time his left foot was. He was an extra step, and that was what got him.
You never want to be that guy who gets overconfident and gets picked off a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Because then you're a little bit of a liability on the bases. It's almost like the coach won't want you to reach base.
Yeah, and your teammates are shaking their head when you come back.
Well, there he goes. Jones held up the throw to second, is not in time, and Sharp will not get picked off that time. He'll swipe second base.
Yep, good jump there. He was ready for it. I was waiting to see at what point would someone test Juan Pena, so now we see. We'll see if they keep trying to attack with him or not, but scoring position now for the Astros with a 2-1 count.
Timeout granted by the home plate umpire, Kevin Bolduc. And now, the last time we were live, we were saying stealing third base in a game like this would not be extremely hard to do because of the right-hand batter and the way that this game is going with Pinkerton needing to be aggressive. So you think we may see some stealing of third base in this game at some point?
It could happen. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the right-handed batter. It's a little tougher to throw, down to that bag, and Sharp's got some good wheels. So
Cunningham deals. That one bounces in there for ball 4, but there goes Sharp taking the open bag at third, and now we'll have runners on the corners for Kyle Archer.
Yeah, so now you got first and third. I bet they'll send this kid again just to make sure they don't get themselves in a double play situation.
Before that, we will have Matt D'Ambrosio come out to the mound. I would have to think that he's going to go over some first and third thing here, because with 2 out or 1 out and the possibility to get 2 and stop a run in a game that they are still in, by no means is this game over.
No, 2 runs is very doable, but cannot let you can't give up 2 runs here, 3 runs here. You really start to press, and this Memorial team is not a team that's going to put up 12 or 15 runs with ease. So they're going to have to try to play smart baseball, play smart defensively, and not give up easy, cheap runs. If they're going to earn them, they're going to earn them. But we can't be looking at situations where you're giving up easy runs and then expecting to win.
Well, the back-to-back walks from Cunningham definitely helped with that mound visit, but I would think that he went over some kind of first and third situation here, as will be interesting to see what happens. Pick off to third, and Elijah Sharp slides back in there safe. That's not something you see often.
No, it's not, but I like that because Sharp got picked off earlier, and if he's coming down the line a little bit too much, and it's a good move, actually.
Maybe with that, they try to get the guy off first, possibly, maybe he was pretty aggressive, he was down almost halfway down that line when he saw Cunningham pick up his foot and then dove right back. There he goes. That one is driven through the hole. Pinkerton will put at least one more on. The throw into Melu will not get anybody out, and Pinkerton is able to take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, same situation again. First and third, one out. So I bet we'll see a very similar scenario from the Astros' approach here. Really just watching where that the base runner at first, where he sets up. If he goes all the way past the cutout with that back foot, he's going. He's kind of splitting it now, but there he goes.
There he goes. Pena throws down. Here comes a throw to the plate. Never mind, no throw from Melu. Wasn't able to field that cleanly. And Jones is across the plate, and Pinkerton will take a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, this is what you did not want happening, is allowing these runs, no outs, there's no exchange. I mean, sometimes you trade an out for a run, fine, but here we're still in scoring position with one out.
And a tough out at the plate here. Nako swings and misses at that one, strike one. And then never mind the run coming across, you also put Kyle Archer in scoring position now with still just one out. Cunningham gets his sign, and Yanako takes a huge hack at that one, but fouls it straight back.
So big 2-strike count here. We need to see what Cunningham has up his sleeve for a strikeout, because there isn't a better time than right now.
This is a big batter. He needs to get this out no matter what. And he
him.
does. He gets the strikeout, gets Kolinako swinging, but the reason he needed to get that out is because we've got the top of the Pinkerton lineup coming, and Jacob Albert, who is, once again, 2 for 2.
Yep. Oh, they're going to just walk him. It's not the worst idea I've seen.
Well, all right, he is on, and he will remain 2 for 2 with the intentional walk. That means Brendan Horn will be the next Pinkerton batter coming to the plate here.
Yeah, open base, might as well. I mean, he crushed you in the first 2 plate appearances. No reason to.
He's fast. He could definitely end up on second or third with another triple. So I do like that move to intentionally walk him, because at this point you're just trying to get out of the inning. You don't really need to play with fire here.
Yeah, and you get the force too, so, I mean, you get the opportunity to make a play at any of the bases.
Horn's generally a guy who hits the ball on the ground or line drives through the air. Not really a big pop guy as Albert and the guy after Horn, which would be Jackson Marshall, are.
Yep, like we talked about earlier, great contact hitter. He's going to put the ball in play, does not strike out. He's in a 2-0 count here, so he's going to be looking for a fastball. And
he's looking for his pitch so that he can drive it and hopefully get a couple more runs in here for Pinkerton. He gets his pitch, but he pops it up. Rivera coming in under it. Wind definitely blew that down, and the Astros put 2 up, but Memorial is able to stop the bleeding with 2 runners on, and we are going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Memorial will have 3, 4, 5 coming up. That's Berube, Rivera, Castro, and then followed by Rivera. So this is a perfect time for Memorial to get back in this game, because this game is still not over, and they'll need to put a couple of runs on the board when we return. Bottom of the 4th inning here from Gill Stadium. Andrew Arndt and Daryl Johnson joining you again. And as we said last inning, this is the time for Memorial to put up a couple of runs. Pinkerton was able to get a couple last inning as Berube first pitch swinging, slices that one over the roof.
Yeah, this would be a great time for the Crusaders to light a fire. And speaking of fires, 26 wildfires in Canada is, if you've been watching outside tonight, very hazy.
I was wondering why it looked like that. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's clouded up the sky, made for an interesting sunset.
That one is tossed by Yanako almost into center field there.
You can see the coloring of the sky. Very
Yeah.
interesting night here.
I was definitely wondering why. That's a good thing we've got meteorologist Daryl Johnson on scene here.
Yeah, trusty Kyle Hebe tipped us off to that one.
Outside for ball 2. Caden Berube, like we said last time at bat, he's a guy who will definitely take the first couple of pitches. Just a guy who really waits till he gets his own. And that one is on the corner, so he got the 2 last calls that were on the outside corner, but Kevin Bolduc says I gotta give him that one. Count moves to 2-2. Ankia deals, and Berube goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
Great 2-2 pitch there, change up on Berube. Berube really pushes the edge of the plate there. He crowds it, to try to protect the outside, and he was looking fastball, and he got the change up and was just out ahead of it.
Interesting stat I have here in my scorebook. The 1-2-3 hitters for the Crusaders, 5 of the 6 outs that they've made have been ground outs.
Yep.
So it's not like they're striking out every time. Ankia, that was his 4th strikeout. But, it's not like they're striking out every single time. They're hitting the ball usually just right at people. Ankia deals outside for ball 2, and Alexis Rivera is in a perfect spot to get on base here.
Yeah, he gets a lot of ground balls, and they're usually not even that hard to hit of ground balls. So it's a good sort of formula if you're a pitcher, is to keep the ball down and get some weak contact and keep your pitch count low.
Really, there's only 2 guys on this roster who will be able to punish him for that, and he has seen them once. That would be Manny Castro and Xander Rivera, as Alexis Rivera takes strike 2 there. So interesting to see him take 4 straight pitches. Ankia deals. Rivera sends that towards Horn. Horn makes a sliding play, but Alexis Rivera is extremely fast and is able to beat that one out for the infield single.
Yeah, that was the best hit ground ball we've seen so far. And shortstop did a great job moving to his right to make that
great play. That's anybody else that's out, but
Yep.
Rivera is extremely fast, and now here comes a dangerous hitter in Manny Castro.
Yeah, and look where Rivera's set up. I mean, he's ready to go.
Yep, he is going to go on one of these pitches inside for ball 1. I'd feel like maybe one more ball and he'd be ready to go, because we have seen pitch outs here in high school baseball. As there's the pickoff move from Ankia to get Rivera staying close, but it's a weird thing that you never really see in high school is the pitch out, but we have seen it a couple of times here.
Yep.
Ankia deals. Castro takes strike 1.
Yeah, the middle of this order has a much different approach in the top of the order with their plate appearances. They're taking more pitches.
Rivera is off, and I could tell just by the jump that he was in there, and he is able to swipe second base. So with 1 out and the fastest guy on the roster on second base, Castro is in a perfect position right now.
Stroke a little base hit here, you'll get a run out of it.
Really anything, just even a bloop single out there, and you'll get him in. You can tell when a guy is ready to go just based on his movements. If he's moving around out there, like moving his feet and stuff, he's really not ready to go. But when the guy is zoned in, you can tell he is ready to go. As Castro reaches for the outside pitch, but dribbles that one foul.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to do anything with. The changeup down and away, and it was almost like he had 2 strikes on him already on that one. That's usually what you would see when you're trying to stay alive in the at bat. So now he's got to really defend everything, because the pitcher's got pitches to waste. So he's not going to get a fastball, you wouldn't think here. And
saw Castro fight one off last at bat. Ultimately, before he struck out, that one inside for ball 2.
Yeah, he came in with the fastball, but man, he didn't bite.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to hit, but it's also a tough pitch to take. So Castro is just happy that Bolduc did not call that a strike. And he didn't call that one either, just off the outside corner. We moved to full count.
Just missed on that one. That's a Manny, interesting two takes there on really borderline pitches.
Yeah, really, really tough takes. Just great discipline. Payoff pitch from Enki, a swing and a miss, and Castro strikes out for the second time in this ballgame. Rivera coming to play now. He was the start of a weird situation we saw when he was batting with a full count, and it hit him, but he swung and he ran to first. It was a really weird situation, but he's hoping to get his brother Alexis Rivera in with this at bat.
Yeah, it looked like he grounded out when he protested. They had a discussion, and the next thing you know, he's on first
I'm gonna
base.
ask them what that was because I have no idea what that was.
There we go.
Rivera sends that one to Albert. Albert gonna come up gunning. The plate of the plate is way too late. Rivera in there. And Memorial is able to get on the board here in the bottom of the fourth inning thanks to an RBI single to Xander Rivera.
Yeah, big hit there, brother to brother. Yeah, I've not seen many hits here, obviously, so that's a clutch one to get them on the board. If they can scratch one more out, then they're going to start really feeling like they have some momentum.
Catcher Juan Pena now at bat. Saw him reach on the Brendan Horn error last time out. Rivera... Oh, that hit him right in the shoulder. It looks like he's going to be all right.
Yep, he's all right.
Rubbing it a little bit, but he'll be fine. Tough kid out there.
Rub some turf on it?
Yeah. No dirt to rub on it, so you can rub some black tire pellets, I guess.
Rubber.
Rub some rubber on it, yeah, I guess. Pena's gotten a lot more discipline this season. You know, last season he was swinging at a lot of stuff that he didn't like. He's been way more disciplined to start this season.
Yeah, he's a great athlete too. He can play all over the place. He pitches, catches. It's just
plays first and third, even short. Really, any position in the infield he can play.
Yeah, and they shuttle him up and down. He'll play for JV. He's just a really good kind of kid you want on your team.
Right, he's a good program player. As that one is outside, I can hear the Memorial dugout, who is all on the top step here. It's good to see them showing some life here. Ankia deals big cut and a miss there from Pena, and you could tell how badly he wanted that.
Daddy hack, yep.
Yeah, that was a huge hack from Pena. But now big spot here, 2-2 with 2 outs. 2's all over the board here. Rivera on the move. Throw down by Yanako.
Great job.
Rivera swipes third, but what about that throw from Yanako?
Yeah.
That was a frozen rope.
Yeah, he's got a gun, but they've stolen 3 bases on him. So, I mean, props to the Crusaders for picking their spots well. And it looks like Rivera's still kind of holding his arm where he got hit there. So maybe that bothered him a little more than we thought.
I mean, Yanako does throw hard. There's a reason he's going D1 baseball, and Pena is able to draw the walk. Now Memorial's starting to get something really brewing here.
Yeah, first and third, 2 outs. Big spot for Connor. We were talking about it before. Does not get a lot of play at bats anyway. So this is looks like they're sending him back. So maybe they'll get a sub coming in here.
We have a mound visit here before we do anything. Yeah, that could be a pinch hitter.
Looks like they're going to Brendan Shipe.
Are they going to... Brendan's going to be the pinch runner. So let's wait a second and see who the pinch hitter is going to be.
Yeah, Shipe is a fantastic runner. Very, very fast kid. I'd expect him to be on the move. Interesting to see what they're going to do at the plate. If someone else is going to come in to bat.
I would expect that Coach Matt D'Ambrosio is going to tell whoever bats to take the first pitch.
Yep. And
then I feel like he's going to get some kind of hit and run situation, get Brendan Shipe on the move, as Isaiah Solis is going to be the pinch hitter here.
Solis, sophomore, good contact, good power. Usually makes good decisions at the plate, so this will be a big spot for him here. Really boost his confidence, I think, if he can drive a run. And he's a very confident player, but when you're a sophomore playing up at varsity, it's a different ball game, and you want to see him get his sort of high school career going right here.
You have to wonder, there goes Shipe. Yanako's going to throw it down. Oh, and Shipe makes a Big mistake as he is tagged out. He didn't even slide. Coach D'Ambrosio trying to say that Xander Rivera scored. We'll see if they put the run on the board. They're going to say, no, he does not score. So a little bit of a costly mistake there from Brendan Shipe. Keeps this game at 4-1, but nonetheless, Memorial definitely gets some confidence here heading into the top of the fifth inning. But we'll see what Pinkerton is able to do at the plate when we return with more baseball coverage from Manchester Public Television. Andrew Arndt and Daryl Johnston joining you for more baseball coverage here from Gill Stadium as Memorial was able to get their first run of the game in the bottom of the fourth inning, but we move to the top of the fifth where Ryan Cunningham is ready to face the big fella, Jackson Marshall. He's 0 for 2 on the day. That one is signaled quickly foul by Kevin Bolduc. Marshall has flown out and ground out, so this is a big position for him. You know, Ryan Cunningham was able to get him out both times in the big game last year when Pinkerton visited Memorial, and Memorial was able to win that game. Marshall is definitely looking for some revenge here.
Yeah, Marshall just doesn't seem well, I don't think.
There it goes. Berube giving chase, and that's over his head, and that is what some people expected. Marshall chugging around second. He wants 3. The throw from Rivera is into Duclos, and Jackson Marshall is in with a stand-up triple, and he roped that ball.
Yeah, Cunningham had done a good job up to that point of keeping the ball inside and not letting him extend his hands, but that ball floated right back across the middle of the plate, and he just allowed him to drive that to right center and right field, really, and Berube kind of thought he had a beat on it, stopped, and tried to leap, and that's the thing. You got to keep your feet moving and carry with the ball, and ends up being a triple.
Also could have been the wind here. We've seen the wind all day be a big factor, but now Pinkerton's got a runner on third. That one was seared just past third base, and Marshall and his coach over there just kind of frozen, accepted the defeat there.
Yeah, no one warming up, so they're sticking with Cunningham for now.
As they should. I mean, you don't really want to take a guy out. He's been doing really well this game. You've just faced a really, really good hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Lorenzo Corsetto at the dish, 1 for 2 with a single and ground out on the day so far. Cunningham's curveball in there for strike 2. And his curveball may be a little bit obvious, but it is dirty.
Yeah, and he's gotten a couple guys to just stand there looking at it and take strike 3, so it definitely affects the hitter.
It's one really good thing about him. And that one was interesting. It hit Corsetto right in the head as he sees no problems with it.
I think it was his shoulder, but
take first base as
that
shoulder. Might have been his shoulder. Yeah, I thought I heard a crack of the helmet sound, but somewhere in the upper body region that hit Corsetto. But Coach D'Ambrosio out to the mound to talk to his infield. Maybe we see another first and third situation here.
You hear kids in dugouts yelling all the time, wear it.
Yeah.
And that was the definition. He turned his shoulder, took it like a champ, went down to first base. A lot of kids will jump out of the way and they'll get heckled by their own team for it, but easy to say take it when you're the one in the dugout.
Right. You're not the guy up at the plate, especially on the really hard throwers. Like, I would not want to take a ball from somebody like Jackson Marshall who throws in the mid-80s.
You just hope he would throw you some change-ups and throw them away.
No outs, first and third here, runners on the corners. Cunningham set to face Matthew Barbuto, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Corsetto down, tosses over to Castro. That was Melu who cut that off, but Marshall did not bite with that trick, and now Pinkerton's got 2 guys in scoring position. Cunningham gets his sign from Pena. Curveball just outside, and he nearly got Barbuto to go around there.
Yeah, that was a great pitch, but he didn't bite.
Barbuto was able to get that single and then flew out his second time. Calls timeout there, granted by home plate umpire Bolduc. And we'll see what he can do here. 1-1 count. Cunningham gets the sign. Up high for ball 2. This might be a situation where, if he gets on with a walk, maybe you bring everybody in. Everybody's almost in right now. McNelly is nearly on the grass. Swinging a miss there from Barbudo, and count moves to 2-2.
Yeah, no better spot for a strikeout than right now. You don't really want the ball in play.
Need that first out by any means. Cunningham deals.
Ooh.
Swinging a miss. And Pena throws down to first base. I was kind of waiting to see what the signal was, but Kevin Bolduc kind of just stood there. It's interesting to see. But either way, Cunningham able to get his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Yeah, big spot. Big spot for him right there. It's huge.
As Joshua Jones will... Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. This is interesting. Barbudo went back to the plate. You know what's going on here, Daryl?
No, I'm not really sure what they're...
Barbudo went back to the plate. He swung and missed. The ball went to the backstop, and he was thrown out. And now he's back at the plate. Maybe he was trying to pull a fast one.
I don't know what he thought, but he's going to the dugout now. So, just as we expected, it should be an out, and it is.
Well, who knows what that was, but either way, Elijah Sharp, who's 0-for-0 with back-to-back walks in both of his at-bats, comes to the plate. Really hasn't gotten anything to hit here. Will be interesting what Cunningham gives them.
I'm guessing he thought it was a foul ball, and that's why he came back. That's the only thing I can really think of.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no signal from the home plate umpire there, so either way, we'll have out number 1. As Cunningham deals curveball off the outside corner for ball 1.
That was close. He's not getting that. He's not getting the call on that curveball away. He'll get it on the fastball, it seems, and the changeup, but he's not giving him on the curveball.
And that's the spot where he really needs it.
Yeah, he needs that call.
Curveball outside again. That one was outside.
Yeah, that was too far off the plate for...
Too obvious, too. I mean, you saw Sharp just as soon as he saw it start to spin, he kind of backed out and knew that it was going to spin way away. 2-1 from Cunningham is dribbled up the third base line. Marshall almost made a play on it, but Castro grabs it, throws it back to Cunningham, and we'll have 2-2 here, even with 1 out. Sharp has gotten a couple of pitches to hit here, but really not the pitch that he seems to be looking for, as that one is just outside. Cunningham can't be too pleased right now with the calls that he's not getting.
Yeah, he wants that call, but he's just not going to get it, so he's going to have to try to almost make an adjustment because he goes back to it, but they're not biting and he's not getting it.
As a pitcher, it is something that you do need to...
Fantastic K right there. 2 huge Ks for Cunningham this inning.
It's his 4th one of the ball game. But as a pitcher, you do need to just accept the fate that the umpire isn't going to give you the call because you're just wasting pitches. And if you go to the same spot that the umpire that you like, but the umpire's not giving you the call for.
Great pitch right there. Yeah, you're just going to get frustrated, and it's going to throw you off your game. But, I mean, kudos to Cunningham here. He had 2nd and 3rd, 2 no outs. He's got back-to-back Ks. This is
really starting to bear down here.
Really a good half inning for him right now.
Wow. Gets that call from Bolduc a little bit off the plate, moved to 0-2.
After Marshall hit that triple into right field, you would expect him to have scored by now, and he's still stranded at 3rd.
Cunningham deals. That was way off the outside corner, ball 1. Now, this could get really, really interesting if Cunningham is able to get it done here, but he's starting to look a lot better than he was towards the beginning of this inning. Ball outside, but he's really started to bear down here.
Yeah, he just had that mistake against Marshall where he floated that pitch to the middle of the plate. Other than that, he's been really good this inning.
1-2 from Cunningham. Gets his sign from his catcher Pena. In there for strike 3. Ryan Cunningham battles back beautifully after giving up the triple to Jackson Marshall and hitting Lorenzo Corsetto.
Yeah.
Back-to-back-to-back Ks
Straight
for
to the
Cunningham. Crusaders have all the momentum right now. They're still in this game as we're going to move to the bottom of the 5th inning and see if Memorial can really back Ryan Cunningham up and put some runs on the board. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with more high school baseball action. Back at Gill Stadium for the bottom of the 5th inning as we will have a new pitcher on the mound for Pinkerton. It's number 1, Leo Boucher. As the first batter he'll meet is Connor McNelly, who takes that one off the handle of the bat for strike 1. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, as ball 1. That was interesting. I thought for sure that was right off the lower end of the bat, but ball 1, and that one's up high for ball 2. Boucher looks like he's throwing really hard. I mean, he's chucking. He looks like he's throwing a little bit harder than Jacob Ankia, who had a great outing, 4 complete with just 1 run given up. That's in there for a strike.
Yeah, he's throwing definitely harder.
Absolutely. He looks like he's at least 86, 87 here, as Ankia looked maybe 81. Big late cut from McNelly. Count moves to 2-2. McNelly, this is interesting. So Solis was sent to bat for McNelly, as that one is inside for ball 3. Solis was sent to bat for McNelly, and I guess that he was just sent back into the dugout because of Brendan Scheidt being thrown out, and now he'll come back again. Inside for ball 4, Connor McNelly draws a big walk.
Yeah, you can hear the bench. They're getting rowdy, getting excited. McNelly getting on the huge. That's the thing with these hard pitchers sometimes. You know, they can throw hard, but the control isn't necessarily the strong suit, and hopefully the Crusaders take advantage of that, not help them out.
Ryan Cunningham, who struck out last at bat. Big late cut there, as they're definitely a little bit behind here on the new pitcher.
Yeah, it's hard to time that up. You know, he's throwing harder than the previous pitcher, and it takes a little bit to get used to that.
Boucher gets his sign. That'll be a strike to Cunningham because he showed bunt and wasn't able to make contact. So 0-2 to Cunningham here early in the count. For the first time of his outing, Leo Boucher is up in the count as he gets his signs. Swing and a miss from Cunningham, and Boucher is able to get his first K of the game. But back to the top of the lineup it is for the Crusaders with the man who's only seen 2 pitches tonight on 2 at-bats, Nick Duclos.
Will he swing first pitch? I'm going to guess no.
I would think no. I think Coach Ambrosio told him not to. No, he will not. He'll take strike 1, and he has now seen more pitches than he has at-bats.
Yeah, he didn't see that ball very well because he ducked, and it was a strike.
Maybe had something to do with the bright lights, but he seemed like he had no idea where that was because that wasn't really very close to hitting him. As he swings and misses there for strike 2. And once again, Boucher ahead in the count 0-2. Believe we saw Boucher against Trinity. Believe he had a pretty good outing. Big swing and a miss from Duclos on the outside. Pitch for strike 3. And now Boucher means absolute business after dishing out that walk to Connor McNelly.
Yeah, that's his first off-speed pitch he threw this in the first 2 batters here, and that got Duclos reaching.
Ben Mayu, who's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, back to the plate here inside. Yanako spins and definitely scared Connor McNelly because he got back to first base in a hurry.
Yeah, that was a nifty little move by the catcher. He was ready to fire.
Maybe Jackson Marshall wasn't ready over there, but that would have definitely scared any runner. Even if it was just to scare the runner, it definitely worked. As that pitch was in there for strike 1. Nice frame job there by Yanako behind the plate. Boucher deals. That was a complete swing by Mayu and big strike 2.
Yeah, Ben's a good contact hitter, but this guy just throws hard. And
He throws
I don't think they're
real
used to
hard.
seeing that kind of velocity on a regular basis.
That one hit the plate on the check swing, and McNelly is going to be able to advance to second base, and that is one of the big unfortunate things here about Gill Stadium, as the rubber plate, as the base umpire Adam Rosmik says no swing, but that is one of the big unfortunate things about Gill Stadium here.
Yeah, big backstop here too, so you can advance if it gets by the catcher. Big spot here for Ben Malu if he gets to maybe fight one off to right field and score McNally from second.
Boucher strikes him out with a big off-speed pitch there. Benny Mayu goes down looking, and after dishing out the first pitch walk, Boucher battles back with 3 straight Ks, just like Cunningham, and another quick half of the inning here, as we'll move to the top of the 6th inning, where Pinkerton is going to be in position to try and get a couple more runs on the board. They'll have Kyle Archer, Cole Yanako, and Jacob Albert coming back to the plate. Cunningham staying out there for the 6th inning, so we'll see more of him when we return after this break. Andrew Arndt and Darryl Johnson back at Gill Stadium for the top of the 6th inning, where Ryan Cunningham will go back to work. After 5 complete innings and 5 strikeouts, Cunningham will be here to face the 8-9-1 batters as he tosses a first pitch strike.
Yeah, this is a big spot, too. If they can get through this and not give up any runs, they'll be in a good spot here. 8-9-1 is where you want to try to control it.
Well, after the triple and then the hit by pitch, he came back with firepower, getting those 3 straight strikeouts. You don't want to really ruin momentum.
Yeah, this is Ryan's best outing that I've seen so far this year. He's looks very poised and confident, and obviously had success with them last year. So
very much so. Just missed the outside corner. You can tell by the reaction. He really wanted that call, but
he's just not getting that call today.
He's not getting that outside corner. It's so consistent. Fouled straight back. But, yeah, Bulldogs really consistent about not giving him that corner. It's almost like it just doesn't exist. It's really interesting to see. I'm not sure if I've seen an ump be so consistent with a non-call. Fouled up by us. Could hear that one. Landed maybe 10 yards to the right of me. Cunningham gets his sign. Fouled right back above us again. So Kyle Archer is really getting deep in the pitch count of Ryan Cunningham here.
Yeah, I bet Cunningham will go away on him here. He's tried him twice inside, and he's fouled him off. Oh, that's a foul ball, though.
That was off the knob of the bat.
Yep.
But nonetheless, another pitch thrown by Cunningham. And in a situation like this, Cunningham's been out here all game. You know, you don't care who it is. It could be Kenley Jansen from the Red Sox. The Astros want that relief pitcher because he's a new guy who hasn't seen him yet. Outside, ball 3.
Yeah, you went back out, but just too much.
I think that's exactly what the Astros are trying to do, is just get to that relief pitcher. Swing and a miss as Archer goes down. That's 4 strikeouts in a row for Ryan Cunningham.
Yeah, he's in a groove right now. It's great to see.
Really going to work here. He's going to have to deal with Cole Yanako, who is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Cunningham has now struck out the 6, 7, 8, and 9 batters for Pinkerton in this game, along with the 5 batter. He's been really on top of his game. That is his 6th strikeout, and he just got Archer for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah, he's doing really well here. He seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on. And
Nako fouls that one. Look out down there. Oh, Brendan Sullivan, Memorial assistant coach, not able to bring that one in. But he's made quite a few good plays over his life.
Yes, he has.
Yanako towards the center of the infield. Duclos Fields bounces it to McNally and just barely gets out number 2.
Yeah,
wow.
Duclos had to make a quick throw, and McNally did a great job picking that out of the rubber.
Well, now we've got, as you might have just heard, top of the order, Jacob Albert 2 for 2 with the triple in the top of the 1st inning, then the single and the intentional walk.
As we watch Caden Burby backpedal.
Yeah.
Where he knows.
He knows what's happening. He knows that he's probably going to have to do some running.
I like that approach from Cunningham. First pitch, throws him the changeup away. See if he can get him to roll that over to first.
Albert swings, hits that center field. Rivera coming on.
Oh, trouble.
And that's going to get by him. Albert on his horse. He's already to third just when Rivera picks that ball up. And, man, I think he might be one of the fastest guys we've seen all season. In all the games we've done here, I think he's the fastest guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that. He is. It's a tough play there for Rivera. He wanted to make the play, but it was a tough play. And sometimes you just almost want them to hold up there, let the base hit happen, keep the kid at first. But unfortunately, it's hard to really fault Rivera for getting on his horse and trying to make that play. He can make the play, and just that time it didn't work out.
Horn sends that one into left field. Rivera didn't have to take a step and was able to make that catch, and the runner on third will not score. This ball game will stay 4-1, but Memorial getting short on time here. 2 more innings to try to get at least 3 runs on the board. We will see if they can get a few more on the board when we return to more high school baseball action. Back at Gill Stadium for what could be the best part of this game, the bottom of the 6th inning. Memorial really has a lot of momentum here as they kept Pinkerton scoreless for the last 2 innings of this game. Caden Berube is the first batter to meet Leo Boucher, who really had Memorial's number last inning, walking Connor McNelly and then getting 3 straight strikeouts. Berube takes ball 2, and the Memorial dugout down there is alive. There's not a person sitting down. Everybody is on the top step of that dugout.
Yeah, they want this. They want a little momentum here.
It's exactly how the game last year went. Every person was on the top of that dugout and absolutely screaming as Berube takes ball 3. You can hear the screaming from up here. It's pretty funny. And Berube takes the 4-pitch walk. So here we go. Yanako immediately calls timeout, and he's going to go talk to his pitcher. But we saw last time what happened when he got that first batter walk.
Yeah, and you can tell the pitcher's a little annoyed with Memorial's bench. He's kind of glanced over a couple times. He doesn't like it. But they're picking their spots. They're not yelling when he's throwing, and
right,
that's totally acceptable. But Yanako's telling them, don't worry about them. He's telling them they can't hit you. You throw hard, and he just needs to throw strikes. But that's the thing we talked about earlier. These hard throwers, sometimes they just cannot control what they want to do, and they end up getting themselves in trouble with walks.
Once the pitcher is in his set, they'll stop yelling. Right here, they'll stop yelling. Alexis Rivera will take strike 1 there, but as soon as he gets that ball back, they'll start screaming again. But they're respectful about it. They're not going to scream while he's throwing. Never mind, not allowed, but they're respectful about it. They need some momentum here, so got to do whatever they can as Rivera takes ball 1.
Well, they love to yell no on a ball. Whenever the pitcher throws a ball, they'll yell no.
I remember being in that same position last year every single time. Rivera fouls that one back, and silence from the bench down there.
Yeah, still no one warming up, so they're going to go back to Cunningham.
Interesting.
Which is
wonder if his pitch count's in the mid-80s.
Yeah, it has to be by now. You would think so.
Because that's the only reason he could come back in. If it was up in the 90s, I don't think he could come back in. But it's got to be somewhere in the 80s. Boucher gets his sign off the outside corner. No for ball 2. Boucher is, I see him glancing over at that dugout. Like, really, guys? Big cut and a miss there from Rivera. So Boucher, just like last inning, is back on track.
The one thing about doing that when you're the bench is you can kind of aggravate the other team enough that you start to motivate them in a way that maybe wasn't there before, because they have something to prove now. And then if they do get out of the inning unscathed,
can distract your own guys too.
Yep.
Castro fouls that one down the line, just maybe 6 or 7 inches outside the chalk for a foul ball.
Yeah, and you can see how hard he's throwing, because Castro's a great fastball hitter, and he was very late on that.
He was way late, just able to fight that one off. Surprised Berube hasn't stolen yet, to be honest with you. Castro late on that one, too, swinging to miss, and Boucher really is back in business here. I feel like that may be his theme. We've really seen consistency. The first pitch walk, 3 straight strikeouts. We saw the first batter walk here, and then we saw a strikeout. There's the second one as Castro goes down swinging, and he is 0 for 3 with 3 Ks.
Yeah, it's almost like the pitcher needs to get into his rhythm, and that first batter, both times we've seen, he's walked him, but then once he does that, he's lights out afterwards.
Xander Rivera, 1 for 1 with the RBI single, the only RBI for Memorial, and then the hit by pitch in his first at-bat right on the corner there for strike 1.
Cunningham is not getting that call, but that was called a strike.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
is interesting. Definitely interesting because you can't argue that Cunningham has not been getting that call at all. That one was right down Broadway for strike 2.
Yeah, he took a little off that one. It threw him off.
Definitely wasn't expecting the slower pitch there, but Rivera's going to have to really center in here and see the pitch he wants. Corsetto makes the play over to Marshall, and despite the first pitch walk, Leo Boucher is able to come back and go 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings of work. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Will Jackson Marshall lead it off for Pinkerton, followed by Lorenzo Corsetto and Matthew Barbuto. We will be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere because we've got a ball game here at Gill Stadium. Last time up to bat for the Pinkerton Astros here in the top of the 7th inning. Andrew Arndt and Daryl Johnson joining you again here for Manchester Public Television's live coverage. Cunningham out there. That one gets through McNelly, and that's probably going to be a double for Jackson Marshall as that took a really weird bounce. Marshall going to be in with the stand-up double. That was a Bill Buckner type play, but that ball was driven by Marshall.
Yeah, McNelly was, I don't think he was expecting that. He didn't, we get a right-handed batter, and he was just late on that, and he hit it really hard, and it just seemed to surprise him. It caught him off guard, and it bounced foul. So
we're going to have a pinch runner here. It'll be Preston Libby who will go in for Marshall. I'm sure that this is just going to be a case where he will try to get another run across the board. Jackson will be back for the bottom of the 7th inning. But either way, great job by Jackson Marshall to get on base to lead things off here for Pinkerton.
Yeah, his first 2 at-bats, he was out, but then, the third at-bat, he drove it over at Caden Berby's head, and then that one with the hard ground ball right at McNally. So
I would be willing to say that that's a real double because it wasn't necessarily an error. I mean, it did touch McNally, but that's by no means an easy play. As Cunningham gets his sign, Corsetto drives one right at Castro, picks it up pretty cleanly and throws over to McNally, who thought he had a play at second, but Preston Libby is able to get back as Corsetto is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's a big out right there. I mean, you have a good runner at second base. You hold him in place. Now maybe a strikeout here. A little pop-up in the infield.
Matthew Barbuto 1 for 3 on the day. Calls timeout, and it is granted by home plate umpire Kevin Bolduck. Got that single in his first at-bat, and since then a flyout and a strikeout. Cunningham deals. That one gets to the backstop, and Preston Libby will move to third easily. And now with 1 out, Pinkerton's 90 feet away from getting some real good insurance here.
Yeah, now he's just going to put the ball in play, and you can bring that run across, and that's a huge insurance run here for Boucher. And
really anywhere.
Yep. Aside from a pop-up in the infield, you're going to score.
Cunningham gets his sign outside for ball 2. Good discipline there from Barbuto to take that pitch and not offer at it. That was definitely something that he could have offered at because I'm sure it looked like a strike coming in, but it did curl a little off the outside corner for ball 2. Ball 3 now from Cunningham as he's just able to make that play. And now that's something you really, really can't do is throw the ball away like that. But looks like we've got a problem with the base over there. All fixed now. As a big spot here from Cunningham. Definitely don't want to put a second guy on here. Gets his sign right down Broadway, strike 1.
Yeah, he was taken all the way, but that was a Little League fastball just to get me over.
Yeah, he floated that one right down the middle. Obviously he's taking because you don't want to lose him, as that one is outside for ball 4. So runners on the corners here for Elijah Sharp coming to bat.
Yeah, first and third with one out. We've seen this situation. This is the third time I think we've seen this in this game, and is a big spot here. But we've seen Cunningham get himself out of this with the K a couple times. But here comes D'Ambrosia, and I'm not sure who we have warming up over there in the pen, but it looks like he's ready to make the move.
That is the 4th walk that Cunningham has issued, and that will be all. A great outing here from Ryan Cunningham, as he will go to the Memorial bench, hopefully with a standing ovation over there. All the teammates out of the dugout following Coach Brendan Sullivan, as he really proved to himself that he's still a great pitcher.
Yeah, great job, Ryan. Keep your head up. That was a fantastic outing for you, and really proud to see that kind of attack all game long. He really came at this Pinkerton team, which really this team can hit, and we know that. And he did a great job of keeping them in control. 4 runs is nothing to be upset about, and hopefully we can see some opportunity here for the Crusaders to hold them in place, and then go ahead and scratch out some runs in the bottom of the 7th. And
6 big strikeouts he had, especially towards the end of the last couple of innings, as he was able to battle back and get 4 of them in a row. And it looks like we're going to have a bunch of positional changes, and Connor McNelly is going to be the new pitcher that we will have for you when we return for the rest of the bottom of the 7th inning here from Gill Stadium. New arm here for the Crusaders in the top of the 7th inning here from Gill Stadium, as that would be Connor McNelly making the move from first base. Runner takes off from first. No throw here from Pena, so 2 men in scoring position here. Elijah Sharp still at the plate, and we have quite a few positional changes here. From what I can see, Xander Rivera's at first, Caden Berube in left, and Alex Rodriguez entering the game to play right field.
Yeah, Rodriguez, a sophomore, very good fielder, strong kid. When he gets a hold of one, he can hammer. So it's nice seeing him out there getting some action.
It's definitely the batting confidence that has been the issue for him so far. His count moves to 2-1. He hits great on JV. I've heard. Varsity is a different game, but just got to have more confidence. But he's got the rest of this season and then 2 more after.
Yeah,
become the ball player everybody knows he can be.
That's the case with a lot of those sophomores when they come up.
Outside, ball 3, and a good job by Pena to hold on to that for as long as he could, because that was almost to the backstop if Pena didn't get his glove on it.
Yeah, McNally's got the stuff. I'd like to see him attack the strike zone a little more. He wants to try to get these batters to chase, but they're not going to bite, so you want to see him come in a little more over the plate and make them work.
McNelly deals.
There you go. That was a little
ball 4, so the bases are juiced for Joshua Jones, who is 0 for 2 with the walk, the strikeout, and the flyout. McNelly that walk is going to issue a mound visit from Coach Ambrosio. So one batter after McNelly takes the mound will have another mound visit.
Yeah, D'Ambrosio
wondering what this is going to be about.
He just wants to talk to them. It's bases loaded. He wants to know where the ball's going, depending on the situation, where the ball goes in play, where they're going with it. And right now you get the 1 out. So ideally you're getting a ground ball to short, but you can't have McNelly walking anybody here. So that's what he's telling him. You got to put the ball over the plate, make them hit it. What happens happens. But let's try and keep the ball down in the zone, get a ground ball, and get out of this inning.
Got to be careful. He's probably telling him a number of things, a bunch of them what you just said, but I feel like mainly do not walk, because you can't be giving out free runs at this time. They're still in this ball game 4-1 with 1 out, 1 last at bat for the Crusaders coming up. So you can't issue the free pass that gets a run in.
Yeah, nowhere to put them.
You got to trust your defense here. Everybody's in there, gonna get the play at home. Picking off to second, Duclos was too far in to tag anybody. But I feel like that's the main thing. Just pitch to him. He's 0 for 2 on the day, drew the walk, and then the strikeout and the flyout. So he's He's really looking to open this game up. Ball high. And this has been McNally's struggle, long-time struggle, ever since he became a Crusader, was the walks. He's, like you said, he's got the stuff. Longevity is fine, but it's just the walks that he's struggled with as Jones takes ball 2.
Yeah, he just needs to get a strike here and get his confidence, because you can see he's getting a little frustrated with himself. He knows he has got no open bases to put anybody, and he does not want to bring a run across the plate with it being just a 3-run deficit.
Fortunately, you can't have 2 runners at the same base, so he walks. He'll be scored. That one's going to get away from Pena. Run to the plate is a stand-up run, and that was the pinch runner, Preston Libby, who had been out there for a while. He pinch ran for Jackson Marshall. He does his job and is able to score and make this a 5-1 ball game. There's now an open base. They're at first with the 3-0 count. McNally gets his sign, and that bounces in, ball 4, and the bases are once again loaded as Kyle Archer is going to come to the plate. But one batter later, Coach Ambrosio is going to come out to the mound, and that will be all for Connor McNally. So we will see a new pitcher, and it's going to be the sophomore, Ben Mayu.
Yeah, McNally not happy. Obviously, he knew that was it, and just kind of threw the ball up to Coach and walked off, not happy with himself. And you can understand it, but now it's on Ben to see if he can stop the bleeding here.
Now with 1 out and Kyle Archer coming to the plate, Kyle has 2 strikeouts and a single. He is 1 for 3. So we'll see what Ben Mayu can do, if he can stop the bleeding or if Pinkerton is going to really open this game. Another new pitcher here for the Crusaders. That one is drilled at Castro, makes the sliding play. McNally is able to make the pick, so the Crusaders traded out for a run, but this game has just become 6-1. But on one pitch, Benny Mayu is able to get a really important second out.
Yeah, that's what Ben does. He throws to contact, he throws strikes, and as that one gets by.
Wow,
Pena.
That one's going to score another run for Pinkerton Astros. I was writing in my scorebook, but this game is going to be 7-1 as Elijah Sharp is able to come across.
Yeah, so that's frustrating. A couple quick runs there, and those are inherited runners, obviously, for Ben, but
yeah, those are tough. I mean, coming with the bases loaded, by no means is it an easy place to just come into a game. Ball low to Yanako, who has had a bit of a tough day. 2 groundouts and the strikeout make him 0 for 3.
I'm willing to bet Yanako will put the ball in play here, but hopefully he will end the inning.
I'm sure he will, and he does. That one is drilled at Berube, who really made a good play there, because that one was absolutely drilled. But Yanako, with an RBI single, makes this an 8-1 ball game, able to come through for the first time today.
Yeah, that was interesting. It took a weird hop on him, but he was able to keep it in front of him. If that gets by him, obviously.
That's trouble. But, I mean, speaking of trouble, 3 for 3 here. Jacob Albert coming to the plate for the 4th time. 2 triples on his line today, along with the single and the intentional walk.
Yeah, he took that first pitch from Malu just to get a look at him. I'm sure this next pitch he'll be ready to lock and load.
Mayu deals. Albert sends that one up and out of play for strike 2. Albert might end up winning player of the game once again, because he's so pure. He's got such a pure swing. He never stops when he hits the ball. Doesn't sit there and watch it. That one is really smoked, but the wind blew that down. Off the bat, I thought that was going to be a gapper, but Alexis Rivera is able to camp under that one. But the lead gets bigger for Pinkerton, 8-1, and Memorial will have one last shot to try to make an effort at tying or winning this game when we return for the final inning here from Gill Stadium. One final half inning from what has been a great but long day of baseball here. The final inning of this 14-inning Manchester doubleheader. The first one, Central West and Bedford. Bedford was able to win it 6-4. And then the second one here, Pinkerton and Memorial, as Pinkerton is currently on top 8-1. But Memorial has Juan Pena coming up to try to start things off against Leo Boucher. Upstairs for ball one, as I feel like these guys are going to be pretty picky here, try to make Boucher work.
Yeah, and Boucher's, walked a couple guys to start innings, so I'm sure Pena's thinking the same thing here. They need base runners, and if bottom of the order can turn the lineup over, maybe we can get something going here, but ultimately it's going to start with Pena, and can he find his way on base?
We've got the 0-2 now, 3-0 now count, so he's definitely doing everything right, taking those pitches, because Boucher seems like a guy who can get out of sorts a little bit quickly. High for ball four, so another 4-pitch walk has been issued, and we will have a pinch hitter. It's Liam McQuillan here for the Crusaders, looking to provide some life off the bench, and honestly, that's probably what you need, as Pena's on for the walk. Looks like McQuillan will be entering in for McNelly in McNelly's spot.
Yeah, first-year player according to our stats or scouting report here, provided by yourself.
First-year Crusader, but definitely not first-year baseball player. He's been playing ever since he was 5 years old. Just never really knew about tryouts last year and was able to try out this year and ultimately secure a spot as a bench bat. But we'll see what he can do here, as watch yourself in there, as that one was way inside for ball one. Looks like Boucher is starting to throw angrily, kind of. He's starting to throw really hard, but all over the place.
Yeah, and Pinkerton's got someone warming up, too.
6 straight balls.
If this gets out of hand at all for Boucher, I'm sure they'll make a quick pull on that and switch it out just to...
Won't be afraid to go to their bullpen guy at this point. Ball 3, so 7 in a row. Feel like a Harry Doyle moment maybe coming up here. Glad you got that reference. Clapping from the dugout, the 3-0.
There it is.
Ball 8, there it is, as Pena will advance to second. McQuillan on with a walk, and the sophomore Alex Rodriguez will be the next batter, but not before Koyanako heads out to the hill to talk to Leo Boucher. I think he might be just, telling him, calm down. We got a 7-run cushion, but obviously don't get lazy. But don't pitch angrily either, because, that can really set teams off. But you got to wonder if Pinkerton will go to the bullpen here. I mean, Boucher has looked really good and now has issued the back-to-back walks.
Yeah, we talked about Rodriguez. Again, he's got a great swing, can drive the ball into gaps. It's just a matter of getting ahead in the count for him and really attacking the fastball.
In there for strike one, so after 8 straight balls, Leo Boucher is able to get strike one.
But we've seen him at JV hit the ball 330, 350 feet sometimes.
Wow.
So he definitely can hit hard and far.
In there, strike two, Yanako threw down to second to try to force Juan Pena to scamper back in there.
And he's got wheels, so that's the thing. If he gets into a gap, you're going to see him standing up at second.
Wow, 350 feet, huh?
Yeah, he hit one at the Memorial Field that hit off the building that shed out in center field there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, he's really strong kid. It's just the varsity confidence thing that has been the outlying issue so far. As that one is in there for strike three, so after 2 straight walks, Boucher is meaning business as he's able to set Alex Rodriguez down. But we go to the top of the order, and Nick Duclos, who's 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Boucher gets his sign in there for strike one. That was a heater.
Sure was. Duclos, though, I don't think we've seen him take all night, so on a strike
Yeah.
anyway. He did take on a previous at bat, but it was a really inside pitch on him.
Yeah, I don't believe we
This
have
could be
seen
trouble.
that.
This could be
Dribbler,
trouble.
nowhere to throw it, and
Okay.
Memorial will have the bases loaded with just one out, and Ben Mayu coming to the plate. Look at this. We've really got a game on our hands here, a lot of people might not think it's a game, but bases loaded, one out, Ben Mayu at the dish, followed by Berube and Rivera. So this could really be the start of the comeback here. Boucher gets his sign and chucks that one in there for strike one. Now Mayu is 0 for 3 with the same line as Duclos to 2 groundouts, but he's got the backwards K instead of the forwards. Takes strike 2 off the outside corner.
Yeah, in the hole now. So
yeah, really
great time for the changeup away and see if he'll chase on it.
Boucher does do just that. And I thought Mayu couldn't advance.
Yeah, bases occupied, so he's just out, and that's the end of that plate appearance.
There is the second strikeout there for Leo Boucher, and Caden Berube will come to the dish with 2 outs and the bases juiced. Boucher gets his sign from Yanako. Way high for ball 1. Berube has had a pretty good game tonight. He's got a couple of plays out there in left and right field, and then has grounded out, struck out, and drawn a 4-pitch walk right on the corner for strike 1. And that was beautifully pitched by Boucher.
Really good pitch. Just threw him a hard fastball right on the edge. Hit black.
1-1 Boucher. Big cut and a miss from Berube.
Yeah, he
for
wanted to hit
strike
those
2.
Metal bleachers out there. That's what he was aiming for.
A lot of fans out there hoping to catch that home run.
It's like 2020 baseball.
Memorial down to their last strike, fouled straight back. Berube will live to see another day. It's definitely been an interesting game here tonight. Pretty fast to start the game, and then really, really slow towards the end.
Yeah, the 5th and the 6th really slowed down to a screeching
Yeah, we
halt.
had 2 or 3 half innings that were 3 minutes max.
Yep.
And now we're having innings that are 20 minutes plus. So definitely interesting. Baseball is one of the most interesting sports in the world. But down to their last strike, Boucher, there it is, in there for strike 3 as Pinkerton defeats Memorial 8-1 here at Gill Stadium. They will climb to 8-3 on the season as the Crusaders fall to 1-10. As Memorial will be in Concord on Wednesday to face the Concord Crimson Tide, who are really having a good year. They are 9-3. As for Pinkerton, they will face the Bishop Garten Cardinals on Wednesday, who are also having a pretty good season at 7-4. But through 2 games of baseball, Bedford and Pinkerton were victorious over Memorial and Central. But thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to Mike Gonzalez, Kyle Heavey, and Daryl Johnston for joining us tonight.
Andrew, great job up here. I want to ask player of the game. Who are you going to give that to? Are you going to give it to Albert, or are you going to give that to someone else?
I mean, I feel like I got to go with a pitcher and a batter. Batter's Albert, 4 for 4, 3 for 3 with 2 triples. But I got to give the pitcher of the game, Leo Boucher. I mean, he came in after Jacob Ankia, he didn't even have a bad outing. He needed probably some rest, and Boucher really meant business. He got that first bat walk, struck out the side both times. So he was really good tonight. So he's definitely going to get my pitcher of the game. But the hitter of the game definitely going to go to Jacob Albert.
Yeah, 100% agree with you on that. Boucher came in, throws hard. He got a couple walks here and there, but, I mean, overall he just was too much for the Memorial hitters to deal with, and that was really just the difference here. Once it was close for a while, and then the tide turned, and next thing you knew it was 6-1, then 8-1, and that was kind of a wrap.
Well, for our color commentator duo of Andrew Arndt and Gerald Johnson, gentlemen, thank you very much for being up here. For Executive Director Jason Cody, Operations Specialist Joe Lahr, Operations Assistant Brendan McCormick. On camera was myself, Kyle Heavey. It's been a pleasure to be with you on this Monday evening. We'll see you again later on this week with more softball, baseball, lacrosse coverage here in the spring sport. This has been a presentation of Manchester Public Television. Thank you all very much and have a good night.